Hi, and welcome to episode 6, where I finalize the layout and we're starting to work on making some trees. I'm going to start with some AJT Woods Edge trees. First thing I'm going to do, pop these trees into a foam base just so I can work on them. Now I mixed up some Woodland Scenics Burnt Umber EARTHCOAT and some VALLEJO Mahogany Brown paint, and I painted all the trunks, spinning them around, paint and paint. Next up, I'm working on making the trees a little more robust. I added some Woodland Scenics, coarse turf, 2 different greens, as well as some burnt grass from Woodland Scenics. First thing I do, dip everything into some scenic cement, and then into the mixture where I mixed all 3 colors together. Trying very much to just keep it to just the greenery that was already there and not gluing onto the trunk or any of the branches. Again, dipping it into some cement, and of course, adding another layer. So I just keep going until we build up more and more of this, including adding some more on top, glue it on, add some more, just give you a real nice thick coating of trees. That plastic green that first comes doesn't have the right look, so having multicolors really helps. Again, a new set of trees, this time a slightly different method. I'm using the Woodland Scenics Realistic Tree Kit. It's the Pines kit. Same starting point where I use the Earth Undercoat Burnt Umber mixed with the VALLEJO Mahogany Brown. Give it a good mix, add just a touch of water to loosen it up some, and then coat all of the bases of the trees. Now to get some greenery on there. Again, the same mix of colors, the Woodland Scenics Coarse Turf, dark green and medium green, as well as the burnt grass green. Started with the same process, coat everything with the mixture of some Scenic cement, which is really just a watered down white glue. Could do Mod Podge 3-in-1, 3 parts water, 1 part Mod Podge. But I use the Woodland Scenic cement. Coat all of the trunks liberally. And then the same process where you just start shaking on the greens, adding tufts by hand, using your fingers or whatever. Just try and keep it only to the base of the, of just the branches. Try and avoid getting it on the actual trunks themselves. Again, over and over, just to add layer, add some glue, add some more of the scenic foam, add some glue. Just keep adding and adding until you got a nice looking set of trees. The secret of step 2 is easy. Woodland Scenics tree kits shipped with this dark clump foliage foam. So start with the glue on the trees that you've already done and take the clump foam. It needs to be broken up by hand a little. And then sort of push the clump foam onto the branches that are coated with the glue. I like to do it so that you can see a little bit of branch and give some suggestion. Just keep going over and over again until you get some nice thick trees. Add in different sizes, obviously tapering towards the top. That'll give you the most realistic looking trees. Some of you may not realize this, but I'm actually a pretty avid gardener. I went out and did some trimming down of some of my tomato plants and brought some of the dead foliage in. I'm going to clip all of those off, and I'm going to go through the same process that I did with the others with the plastic scenery, and give the tree trunks a base coat of the Woodland Scenics Earth EARTHCOAT, burnt umber, and a mix of the VALLEJO mahogany brown, as well as water it down and add a little bit of a slate gray watered down in there to give you a slightly different look. Different types of trees have different bark colors, so that's basically what I want. I also took some branches that I have and I created what I'm going to use on my model as some dead trees in the. So you'll see these tree trunks with the branches, and that's all you'll see. You'll see no foliage on those bits. Um, so these were cherry tomatoes at one point. You'll see here, this is what they all look like. Started the process. Glue and added in the dark green and medium green, as well as the burnt grass scenic foam. And, start a little bit at a time here and there. Add in some more. Just keep going with layers and layers and layers. I did this, just kept going over it and over it until I got a nice, good clump of foliage. Here you see the results of my tomato tree creations. Now let's take a look at what happened after I went and glued in some of the trees into the actual scenery. You'll see the dead trees in there, some deadfall mixed in, as well as the trees that we created. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode, Cape Cod Highline HO Model Railroad.